What's going on, everyone? Welcome to an episode of Puck You. This is Why Lose Sports NHL Wagering Podcast. I'm Mike Burns. I'm joined every day by NHL handicapper Les Victory. We're going to be talking about what matchups we like for tonight. We got 11 games on the docket, but we're only going to be touching on 4 for you. We're going to talk about what we like, where we're leaning. We're going to throw you some free picks. But if you really want to know where Les's heavy hitters are, what money he's got on, what games he has his own money on, you're going to have to get over to whylose.com. Les, how you doing today, brother?
Have you tried these? It is a hard root beer drink. They're crazy Uncle root beer. You can call me a pussy. I don't care. But these things are fucking amazing. These things are amazing. You got to give them a try. I know you're a vodka guy, so you should definitely give them a whirl. But
I like the hard stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's hard. It even says it. It's hard. Right there. See, I'm not a pussy. It just
about as hard as really it's good. About as hard as my Devils.
Yeah, and the way they played against the Caps the other night, they're about as soft as baby poop. So, let's hope for your sake they show a little bit of a better effort. But yeah, last night was a pretty wild one. For the first time in probably a couple of months, we actually put a few prop bets on the card, and we hit 2 out of 3 of them. So that was a really big thing. We had Matthews anytime goal scorer. The stage was set there for him to score in his hometown. So we could just feel that, and he ended up with 2. So Gibson laid an egg in Anaheim. Like, he was just absolutely awful. And you were the one that was like, "Yo, we want him on New Jersey. Let's go after Gibson." And I was the one like, "You."
But that just shows how desperate of a fucking team I am.
Well, then pull your goalie and play with 6 skaters then.
We're thinking about it tonight.
Do like the old days where you flip the net all over on it and you have to hit it off the end boards to go in. But yeah, no, it was a weird night in the NHL. A lot of goals last night. They're out of I think every game except for one of them went to the over, and they went to the over by a lot. Like, there's just a lot of goal scoring, which was weird considering right after the All-Star break, every game was cashing the under. So it's like things are really starting to open up right now.
I think a lot of teams found their legs after the little bit of a break. Had some heavy legs coming out of it. We're going to get right to 2 fast teams tonight. We're going to talk about Colorado, and we're going to talk about the Red Wings. Colorado is minus 145. The Wings are coming in at plus 120 here. Now, the Wings, to me, are an extremely Jekyll and Hyde kind of team on their last 4. So they had a West Coast road trip. They dropped the first 2, and they dropped them big. But they got their shit together on the last 2, right? So they went 2-2 on their West Coast. They beat the Kraken in overtime with their last game. I think they're extremely happy to be home at Little Caesars here. They're 15-8-5 at home. Colorado's coming in. They haven't looked great. They're 13-13-4 on the road. They're 1-4-1 in their last 6 road games. I mean, what are you seeing for tonight?
Yeah, and Gorgiev isn't going tonight, so Noonan is playing for Colorado, and he has been subpar at best. And this is going to be a tough one for him coming into Little Caesars because how well Detroit plays at home. You said it yourself, and Detroit just beat Vancouver at home. That was a big win. They just finished their 4-game road trip. I was looking at the wrong stats here. So they're definitely going to be happy to be at home, and they've been really good at home. Now, the interesting thing, there's 2 ways you can look at this game. One is you look at the head-to-head matchups, and you think, okay, let's look that up. 10-0. Colorado has beaten Detroit 10 straight times. They have my stats only go back to 2017, and Detroit still hadn't beat Colorado. So, I mean, that's, take that with how you will, but the reality of it is Colorado has been really struggling on the road. They're not getting a ton of goal scoring from their top 6 on the road. At home is a very different story. Of course, we know McKinnon and his record of points at home, but when they go on the road, it's a different team. They're 500 on the road. They've really struggled as of late. They just came off a 6-game road trip where they won 1. And yeah, it was a tougher trip. They had Carolina, the Rangers, Florida, but they're still not scoring goals. So with the fact that a Noonan's playing tonight and it's in Detroit and Detroit's on a couple days rest, it's going to be a good game.
Now, the thing with Detroit is, and it should look like they're in a nice spot here, right? I mean, they're hanging on to the last wild card spot. They got New Jersey and the Islanders breathing down their necks. Both are 4 points behind them. But Detroit is a total fucking metrics anomaly, dude. Right? Like they're 31st in Corsi. I'm sorry, in Corsi. They're 32nd in expected goals, and they're 32nd in high danger chances. But they're 6th in the league in goals scored, 2nd in shooting percentage, and 10th on the power play. It's like, do they just have a fucking horseshoe up their ass every time they're in the offensive zone? Because they don't spend a lot of time in the ozone.
I know, and it's hard because all we have as cappers, all we have to look at is stats. We have history, we have analytics, we have starting rosters, we have starting goalies. We have that, and we come to our solution whether or not we want to pick Team A or Team B based on that information. So at a quick glance, when you see those kind of stats for Detroit, you're going to look at that and be like, oh God, I don't want to take Detroit ever, because, you know, to score goals, you have to generate scoring chances, and they're the worst team in the league to do it. And yet they're a pretty good hockey club. Like they've really come a long way. You know, Patrick Kane is healthy now, so he's definitely an asset to that power play. But yeah, it's a weird one to, I don't watch a ton of Detroit because I don't really give a shit about Detroit, but I follow their story, and it's pretty interesting. You know, all in all, they've been rolling through 3 goalies all year, and they've kind of had similar results from all of them. So I don't really know what to think of this Detroit team, because they're all about the same. Like every goalie is posting average save percentages, but Detroit is still finding ways to win with this lineup. So it's a tough one to read, Bernsey.
Well, I mean, one thing that I'm definitely keeping an eye on, and I'll probably end up in the window with it, is Patty Kane that you were just talking about before. Now, Patty's on a 5-game point streak. He's got 7 points in those 5 games. He's really come around. He's been a little bit of a streaky guy this year. You know, he'll go 6-7 games in a clip, you know, recording a point, and then he'll not find the score sheet for a hot minute. But right now he's feeling it, and that's where I'm going to do a little prop tonight.
The one prop that I do like on this one is actually JT Comfort. He's got a point in 4 straight games in 9 of his last 11 games. With Colorado being on the road and the Noonan playing, you know, I wouldn't mind throwing a little bit of money on JT Comfort over half a point.
So if I put a gun against your head, right, and I said, who's coming out with this one? Where do you see this going? Do you see a shit ton of goals getting scored? Do you see just a little bit? Is this going to be a dogfight? Is it going to be a fucking shootout like we saw last night in Edmonton? Like, how is this guy going to end up?
Let me just get my crystal ball here and see what that says. I mean, as far as the money coming in on this game, the money's coming in on Detroit. And a lot of that is hinging on Colorado's record on the road. But to answer your question, it's so hard to bet against a team that has beat you 10 times in a row. But it's been a weird year. We've seen some weird shit going on. So I'm gonna take the Red Wings at home. I think it could be a close game, but I like them at home.
Well, being that Colorado is a perfect 10-0 against them, and the Wings have been shaky, but they got a shit ton of puck luck. I'm going with the over on this one. I'm going over 6.5 on this game here. I think a lot of goals are going to get scored. Noonan's going to get lit up. Lions hasn't looked great. So I think that lamp is going to be lit a lot tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right too. And the other thing is you can see the money's even coming in on that over, because a lot of the sports book actually bumped it up to 7.0 now. It's even above that 6.5, which is, it's like, I don't think I could ever take a game over 7. Like that's just crazy. This is the NHL we're talking about here. So it's, you know, the money's definitely coming in on the over. So I do like that pick too.
All right, moving over to the Hudson River rivalry. We got the New Jersey Devils walking into MSG. This is a pretty even game here as far as the line goes. Devils are minus 110. Rangers are minus 110. I mean, it's hard to like. See, this is the hard part about this game here, right? Because this is almost, New Jersey's put themselves in a position where this is almost a must fucking win, right? Detroit's going against Colorado. That's a tough matchup for them. They're 4 points behind them. They need this fucking W. The Rangers are running, what is it, 8-0, right? 8-game winning streak. Shesterkin's been fucking awesome at home, right? Shaky as shit. He's got the home cooked borscht. He's got the bathhouses in New York City. He's got them dialed in. When he's on MSG ice, he is fucking lights out. But the Devils need to steal one here. Is Nico Dawes gonna be able to keep him out, or the Devils gonna actually play fucking defense tonight?
Okay, so first of all, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because the Devils are at home tonight. Are they not?
Fucking nut. No, they're in MSG tonight.
What?
Oh, maybe I don't know, man. I had a little, earlier.
I'm
trying to
almost
get this done early.
I'm almost positive. I'm pulling it up right now because now
either way, I mean,
it's in New Jersey. You're a fucking Jersey fan.
Feet away from each other.
You don't even know where the game is being played. What the fuck, Birds? What kind of fan are you?
I got baseball training tonight for the kid. I can't make it to the game.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, this is a weird spot for New Jersey because they've been so hot and cold. I expected Jack Hughes being back to come out better than the 500 record that they're carrying right now. But the Rangers have been red hot, and it's going to be tough to bet against them. And it's weird because on some sports books, the Rangers are actually underdogs, which is really interesting. That they've won 8 games in a row. They're like fucking 9-1 in their last 10 or 8-2 or whatever it is. Like to be an underdog here, it's really interesting. So it feels like the Vegas line is really moving in on New Jersey to take care of business at home, not at MSG. And you know what? I like it too because there's a couple guys for New York that are questionable for tonight. And they pack a big impact. Like Panarin didn't skate yesterday in the afternoon skate or whenever it was, and Jimmy Vesey, they're both questionable as they both missed practice yesterday with lower body injuries.
I'll tell you something real quick about Vesey. I'm sorry to cut you off. Now, I had my fucking eye on this game for a while now because I just saw so much fucking value with an ultimate fucking deep dive insider prop bet here. So Jimmy Vesey, I don't know if he's going to fucking play, right? He's obviously not at 100%, right? But he's at a plus 425, right? Anytime goal scorer. Vesey stands up and plays against his former teams. He was on the Devils for, a year or two, a couple of years ago. He's got 3 goals against the Devils in the last 3 games. So I really had my eye on that. And then when I saw the injury report come out that he was a little bit banged up, I was super fucking deflated.
Yeah. No, you're right. And you see a lot of these players when they go back and they play their old team, there's often a little bit of bad blood there. And you always see players just find a different gear when they play their old teams. Like, well, this guy hasn't done anything all year. And then he plays his old team and he gets 3 points. Like, it's just, kind of the way the NHL works. But yeah, I mean, if he's hurt, I don't know if I'd be, even if he does play, he's obviously not 100%. It's going to be a physical game. It's a tough one to play a prop bet on just because it's literally news out to the world that he is not 100%. It's not like it's been kept quiet and we don't know. So we do know it. I would take that one a little bit carefully, just if he does play, just because he might be on limited minutes. He might be who really knows.
Yep. Well, one thing you definitely got to keep an eye on is New Jersey takes a fucking ton of penalties. They are a very undisciplined team. And when you got a guy like Chris Kreider, I mean, we saw it last year in the playoffs, the first 3 games against them, it was just tip, 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 tip. He is Mr. Just the fucking tip on the power play. So definitely keep an eye on Kreider about getting a power play goal tonight. Just standing right in front of Dawes and just dip right in there.
Putting that trash away. And like he's literally made a living doing it. And, that used to be such a big living for so many players back in the day. And that part of the game seems to kind of changed a little bit where you don't have these guys scoring 20 goals a year just by banging in rebounds and getting sticks on tips and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting spot. Now, you're right. The New York power play is been absolutely lights out, and they've been 26% over their last little while. So, and the penalty kill is really good too. So their special teams is a big part of the reason why this win streak has turned into as long as it has. But with that being said, they can't win every game. The Devils definitely have a little bit more hop at home. It'll be a good one to watch. I know you're the Devils guy, so what's your take on this? Where do you see this game ending from a non-biased, I'm not making the playoffs and I already know it, New Jersey perspective? What do you see? What do you like?
It's always tough playing these fucking games, especially when you're in desperation mode. I mean, I can very easily see the Rangers winning this a 5-3 game. I mean, the Rangers don't play a full 60 minutes, right? That's been pretty fucking well documented, but it's timely goalie, about timely goals. It's all about timely goals, right? They find ugly ways to win. It is going to hurt him without Panarin tonight, right? Because he always has that CNI shot, that twisted wrister that finds its way in. I think my boys are going to step up tonight because we fucking need them to.
You've been needing them to step up for fucking 2.5 months now. Tonight's the night.
No fork in the game,
and I can see you every time the Devils win the game. There's fucking Burnsy at home hoisting the cup over his head because he knows it's coming to New Jersey. It's funny because at the start of the season, the Rangers and Devils were two of the most favorite teams to win the cup.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about, given the fact that Jersey's fighting for their life right now just to even see a game past 82. So I don't know who came up with that projection, but they might need a career change.
Vegas got my money on that one. All right, let's head over to the West Coast. If they're actually in the West Coast tonight, we got the Predators against the Kings. Predators are plus 135 here. Kings minus 165. The Predators in general have not been on. I'm sorry, I had an aneurysm right there. The Predators have not put together a real solid little stretch here. They've not been playing well. They've lost 8 of 13. 6 times they've lost by more than 2 goals. And that's not a typical Preds team here. I mean, their all-around game needs improvement, right? They're ranked 19th or lower in goals scored, power play, and shooting percentage. Now, their claim to fame, their bread and butter, was supposed to be the defense, right? It was supposed to be a solid goalie in net. Sorrow has been getting fucking shelled, dude. He's letting three or more goals 5 of the last 6 times he's been out there. 8-9-5, 372 goals against. Preds are looking fucking ugly here.
The part that pisses me off about all of this is Vegas was a max bet spot for me a couple nights ago against Nashville in Vegas against Lankinen, the second stringer, who gave up 5 goals in relief at their 9-2 romping from the Stars. And then he goes up and he plays well. And we end up losing that bet. And for the same reasons you just mentioned was a big part of the reasons why I took Vegas in that spot. So this is kind of a tough one because it's funny. Everyone's shitting on LA, before the All-Star break. They're 16 in a row or whatever it was. They weren't looking good. The coach gets canned.
They're absolute fucking trash.
You were just talking about how they're done. Them and the crackheads, they're not making the playoffs. It's over. Forget it. And I said to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, I said, do not write this team off. This is not the end of these guys. This is all part of a season. How it goes. I told you in 3 months from now or 2 months, a month from now, no one's even going to be talking about this 16-game losing streak or 14, whatever it was. Now look at them. Okay? They have won 6 out of 7, right? Coming into the new year. They have been absolutely lights out. The one game they did lose, somehow they lost 7-0 to Buffalo on the road. That's just one of those games that you just kind of leave it behind you. But then the next night, the day after, they go into New Jersey and steal one on the road. They go to Boston and steal one on the road. They go to Pittsburgh and steal one on the road. And then they come home just the other night and put up a big 5 spot against the lowly Blue Jackets that fucked us last night against the Ducks. So, I don't want to say that I was right, but I'm not going to say that I was wrong because I believe in this LA team to get into the playoffs. I think that they have the capabilities of it. And we always see that firing, you fire your coach bump, right? Like that's, it happened in Minnesota and then they went and shit the bed for for 2-3 weeks afterwards. And maybe that's all what this is. I don't know. Obviously we don't know. But what I do know is Los Angeles is getting back to the same way they started the season when they were giving up nothing. They didn't give teams a chance to breathe. And you look at the last 5 games, Los Angeles has given up 1 goal 3 out of those 5 games.
A big part of their success has been David Riddick. I mean, Riddick has been 8-2-3, 9-1-9, 2.25 goals against in 13 games this year. I mean, LA's defense, it's a top 5 defense, man. I mean, they are absolutely elite when it comes to creating high danger scoring chances. They're 3rd in the league of expected goals on 5-on-5. I mean, they're a big fucking team, man. And Riddick in his career is 3-1-1 against Nashville. I mean, numbers don't fucking lie here. I mean, as far as this game goes and I'm concerned, right? And I'll give you all the credit, man. I fucking put dirt on him. I dug the hole. I said, LA, get the fuck out of here. But no, they have 100% turned around and you are 100% right. I'm very comfortable with LA laying 1.5 here.
Yeah. Well, and again, you don't know what Nashville team's going to show up. They remind me a lot of the Ottawa Senators and the Buffalo Sabres because they can play like, wow, how is this team not in a playoff spot? Then you watch them the next night and be like, how is this team not in last because of the way they play? So they are very inconsistent. And yeah, you're right. Saros has been kind of getting lit up a lot. And I was listening to a couple of guys talking on some other channel about Saros and how Nashville should be re-signing him long term. That should be his goalie, their goalie for the next 6-8 years. And I'm kind of I don't know if I really agreed with that. I think he's good, and when he's hot, but he's just been too up and down to really find any level of consistency to help his team win.
All right, let's get over to the battle of the big dogs here, right? We got Florida walking into Carolina here. Carolina at home, they're -125. Florida's a +105. Both teams are red fucking hot, man. We're going to have to watch it on that stupid fucking ESPN Plus app if you want to watch this game here. Now, let's start with the Panthers, right? Now, to me, it's all about Bob. It's all about the man between the pipes, right? Bob's won 7 straight. He stopped 202 of 214 amount of shots, right? He's got a 9.15 in the last 7 games here. Now, Florida did beat Carolina back in November 5-2. I mean, for Florida, they're a very similar team to Carolina. They just want to beat the fucking shit out of you. The only difference is that Florida has the star power where Carolina is rolling all 4 fucking lines.
Yeah, and you look at what happened in the playoffs last year, and Florida did they not sweep Carolina? I'm pretty sure they swept Carolina and
beat them up.
They're just one of those teams that they're just tougher than you, and right now they are rolling. They are 100% one of the best and hottest teams in the NHL, if not that. They've won 9 out of 10. And they're not scoring a ton, and they're not giving up a lot because out of those 10 games, the under is actually cashed 6 times. So that's something to take note of. And a lot of that reason is, like you said, Bobrovsky in between the pipes. The last 5 games for Florida, 1.2 goals against average for a .959. That's fucking insane. But on the flip side, Carolina is right there too. Spencer Martin and Kochetkov have both been really good as of late too. 1.6 and a .924 save percentage. Those are really impressive numbers. So, I mean, I'm probably not going to take the money line on this one because it's pretty much a pick'em game. If I had to, I'd probably leaning on Florida just because of how much success they've had against Carolina. They've won 8 out of the last 10 heads up, and there's got to be, Carolina hasn't beaten Florida at home since 2022 of December. So if I had to, I'd be laying it on Florida to come in on the road and take one. But I would also, I'd be leaning on the under here just because goaltending has been really exceptional for both sides. And I can see this being a really tight game. It could be like a 3-1 4-2 kind of game, but that under would still either push or cash at those scores. So I like the under on this one.
It's a little bit of like star power against the lunch pail guys. I mean, Kachuk's got 65 points on the season, Barkov 54, Verhaeghe has 30 tucks, Reinhardt's well over a point per game. But here's Carolina's defense that allows, on average, 25 shots, only 25 shots per game. They don't really have that superstar that stands out, but they do have 9 guys in double-digit goals. They are 100% Rod the Bod mentality. These boys get out there, they punch you in the mouth, and they jump on fucking opportunities. I think you're 100% right with the under here. This is going to be a fucking slugfest.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it. I want to watch this one.
On that stupid fucking ESPN Plus app. God damn it.
Well,
all right, guys.
I'm Canadian, so it's the Sportsnet one with the same 4 commercials every night. I gotta mute it now. It's the fucking Law and Order commercial. Law and Order in Toronto is the new show they're advertising on Crave right now. It's driving me fucking nuts. Literally every time it goes to commercial, I have to hit the mute button. I just can't watch the same 4 commercials anymore. That's it.
Oh shit! Maybe we should live stream you losing your fucking mind in between these commercials tonight. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us over here on Thursday, February 22nd. Make sure you get over to whylose.com. It's your go-to source for all sports handicapping. We have day passes for less right now at $49. The month is at $2.99, and the season at $3.99. Les, what do you got to say to the guys?
Just one thing, and the people that are subscribers on us, we post a lot of max bets, and our max bets have been really good this year. They're like 20-8 or 20-9 now. We've lost a couple in a row now, and it's really important, even though they're a max bet spot, that you want to calculate your bankroll to make sure that you're not over betting max bet spots. Max bets don't mean bet the farm on it. They mean bet the most you're willing to lose with respect to your bankroll for one individual game. So that's today's betting tip from me. Make sure you manage that bankroll. Max bet spots should go no more than 20% of your bankroll. I don't care how much I like the game. They don't always win. It's a tough racket to do. Be conscious of your bankroll and bet smart.
Make sure you stay connected with us over here on Telegram, YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram, and above all, guys, bet with your head, never above it. For less victory, I'm Mike Burns. We'll catch you guys back over here tomorrow. Puck you.